I mean, it's everything you kind of pictured. After a hard-fought game and a 2-point conversion to win. I mean, it was exciting, electric. Guys were kind of beside themselves. But besides the excitement, the guys believe, right? I mean, I think that's the thing that I see is they believe in themselves, they believe in this team, and amongst all the excitement, that's what it means more to me, with these guys. But very excited, electric. These guys really deserve this one.
What went into the decision to go for it for the 2-pointer, and then can you describe sort of how Trevor and Zay executed that?
What do we got to lose? I mean, and this is something I told the staff during that last, 5 or 6 minutes of the game. It's like, we got to think players, not plays, and trust our guys. And that's what this game, our guys believe. They believe, and once we scored that touchdown at the end, that, they wanted to go for 2. It wasn't my decision. The players were like, let's go, and I got a lot of faith and trust in them, and just a well-executed play. It's the play we've had in our game plan pretty much every week, and we were able to pull it out. Great, Trevor today was lights out. He played extremely well. That throw, that catch for the 2-point was a thing of beauty. And, I think as a football team too, a win like this just, kind of heads us in the right direction.
A little bit earlier in that drive, Doug, 3rd and 22, 4th and 5, I believe it was. It feels like around here typically there would have been a lot of panic. Trevor looked like a veteran quarterback, and you didn't really sense any of that happening. What was your view of those 2 plays in particular?
I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, I think that's what you're seeing with our team is just the growth and the maturity, and again, it's just there's no panic with these guys. They believe in themselves. They understand that we've put ourselves in a bit of a pickle there in those situations, but we also knew we had 4 downs, and the guys just they made plays, and that's kind of been the difference between, say, the first 10 and obviously this one here is just on and really all 3 phases. Guys making plays, on the field, and that's what it takes. I mean, was it a perfect game? No, by no means. That's a good football team that we played, playoff caliber team. My hat's off to them, and but our guys just kept fighting and believing.
Doug, congrats on the win first off, but what were the emotions like in that last 14 seconds? Was it like, did we leave too much time on the clock? And what was it feeling like when Tucker's ball was in the air at that last play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't worry about the time. You're just trying to execute the 2-point conversion. But, we knew we were going to hard squib there. Even the return, that's a big guy there that's returning that football. And listen, we know Tucker's a great kicker. The 50-yard line is about right. He crosses when they cross the 50, you can bank on 3 points, and that ball felt like it was up there for a long time, and just happy it was on our end.
Hey, Doug, just to be clear, were you planning on going for 2? After that last touchdown, and the players just kind of said it as well, or did you really leave that up to them to make the decision?
I mean, we talked about it as a staff even before the drive. And I had my mind made up. I wanted to go for 2, but during that drive, even after the score, the offensive guys were like, "Coach, let's just finish this thing right here." And so I had my mind made up. But obviously, when the players have that much confidence in themselves and in us, and to go for it like that, you got to believe them, and you got to trust them, and they did a great job.
What does a game-winning drive like that do for a quarterback, a young quarterback who's still struggling to find the consistency you want and hasn't really had big-time moments like that?
It's a step in the right direction, and he's, I would say these last three games or so, he's really, has done a really nice job with our system and our offense. And, even a game like today, it wasn't a perfect game, but, statistically speaking, I think he had a pretty good game and took care of the football. But, he's heading in the right direction. And look, it's just one step in where we, want to go. Great team win today, and we can build on it and look forward to next week.
What's it say for your defense to stop them, keep them out of the end zone on 4 of 6 red zone possessions today?
It speaks volumes. I thought our defense really stepped up in the red zone today. Did a nice job there holding them to kicks. Obviously, they're a team that is electric running the football. Lamar's a tremendous guy. I just think our defense really did a nice job when they got down in there that, really just holding them to those field goals, I think could have been a different football game. If they score on 1 or 2 of those, possessions could be different, but defense did a nice job down there.
Could you talk a little bit about just the rhythm of Trevor's throws on that last drive? I mean, it wasn't just one throw. There was about maybe 5 on that drive where, they were not gimme putts.
I think sometimes it's the difference, what we see in Trevor and sometimes what the fan might see or what y'all might see. I mean, this guy he throws an incredibly good football, and he's smart, and he sees the field, and he can make all the throws, and you're just seeing that. You're just seeing that execution with him and that maturity with him, and listen, he played a really good game today, and but his guys played a really good game. His O-line played a great game. His tight ends blocked, the backs, the receivers, everybody, on offense played a great game to help us win this one. Defense came up with some big critical turnovers and some stops like we talked about. So, it's a step in the right direction for Trevor. Excited for his growth, obviously, and this is a big one for all of us.
How big was Jermichael Hasty in relief of Travis Etienne today for you guys?
It was huge. Hats off to him. To come in there. And again, it wasn't a perfect game, but for him to run hard like he did, catch the ball like he did, gosh, my hat's off for a guy that we just added to the roster at the beginning of the year to be in this position to help us win a game like this. My hat's off to him.
And any update on Travis Etienne?
Yeah, we didn't rule him out. We thought he could go. It is a medical. It's we gotta get more information tonight. And check him out. I mean, he was walking around the sideline. He felt fine, but I just don't want to risk it with him. Right now, and so it's just my decision to keep him out. But we'll check him out tonight and have probably a better update tomorrow.
Coach, you talked about players, not plays. Zay Jones, 11 for 145. I think that's one of the highest totals for a receiver on this team this year. Were you scheming him open, or as the game went on, or did he just keep making plays over and over?
I think he just kept making plays. I mean, the game plans are, each week are to try to get our guys the football. Obviously, Zay's one of them, Christian's one of them, Marv, all those guys, and sometimes it's who has the hot hand, and Zay really played extremely well, and what a tough couple catches down the stretch, and obviously, none bigger than that 2-point conversion.
Go back to the defense, Doug. They held him in the red zone, but they bent, but they didn't break down the field too. There was the midfield play there at the end of the half that set up the first touchdown. The third quarter, there was the one at the 5-yard line where they stopped Lamar and forced the field goal there. Can you just talk about the nature? They gave up some big yards, some big plays, but they rallied. What does that say about the way that this defense is playing?
They're coming together. They're believing in themselves, believing in the scheme, trusting each other, and that's what it takes. This thing is not you're not going to fix it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ball games. It takes some time, and there were some explosive plays that we gave up, and we got to fix those and correct it, but. For them not to panic either and to really bow their neck in the red zone and, hold them to field goals, I think is huge. It's really I think to me it could be the difference in the football game, quite honestly. And so defensively, Mike's scheme and the coaches did a nice job, of game planning for Lamar and that offense. And, you're going to listen. You're not going to keep them down, right? I mean, they're an explosive offense, but yet when they get down in the red zone, our guys did a nice job of holding them to 3.
As a follow-up, did the simplicity that you talked about earlier this week, did that play a factor in some of that?
I think it can help. I think it can help just turn guys loose a little bit and let them play and use their strengths. Yeah.
Hey, Doug, sticking with the defense, can you talk a little bit about Chad Muma? You don't normally see a rookie helping guys get lined up, especially a guy who's making his first start. Were you pleased with what you saw from him today?
From the sideline, yeah. Obviously, get a chance to watch the tape and watch it back and evaluate it. But I thought overall, yeah, did a nice job. It you saw Foye kind of in and around some plays a little bit more, and you know, a lot it goes, you know, to the point of simplicity. It just allows the guys to be free and you know, play to their strengths. So, but you know, from my vantage point, I thought Chad did some good things.